Live It. I'm your host, Renee Kranz. In the studio with me today, I have Marie Weller. Welcome, Marie.
Thank you. I'm so honored to be here.
Marie is the daughter of Angela Weller up in the Redfield area. Angela does a lot of the communications up there along with other things. And so I've talked to Angela many times, and she's like, my daughter listens to your show all the time. I shouldn't say this because then people will be like, I listen. Can I come on? But she has some, especially for a young woman, a young Catholic woman, she has some really good experiences and stuff that we wanted to bring her on to share with us. So, Marie, will you start? I told you I'm going to call you Angela at some point. So when I do, just smile and say, that's my mama.
Okay.
All right. So, Marie, will you start by just telling us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah. My name is Marie Weller. I am 20 years old and I go to the University of Mary. Mm-hmm. I'll be a junior next year. I study math education and then I'll have a minor in Catholic studies as well.
Math education. Ooh.
Yeah.
That's a thing I'm not good at math.
Yeah. I love kids, so.
Oh, good. So you plan on being a math teacher, is that correct?
Yes,
okay.
Yeah.
That'll be lovely. Hopefully in a Catholic school.
Yeah.
Yeah. How many in your family?
I have two brothers,
okay.
An older brother and a younger brother.
Okay.
My older brother just graduated from the University of South Dakota, and my younger brother goes to South Dakota State.
All right. Well, one of them did the right thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. So you were up in Bismarck. How's the winters been?
This past winter wasn't too bad,
yeah.
But it is cold and very, very windy.
Windy, yeah. That because it's pretty flat around there. Correct?
We're on a hill, so we get all the wind.
Gosh, yes, you do.
Yeah.
All the wind.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, okay.
Yep.
All right. Well, let's get down to business. We want to start with kind of what was your faith like when you were growing up, and how did your family influence that?
Yeah. So my faith growing up, I would say we went to mass on Sundays. I went to religious ed every week. And then both my parents are very involved in the church. So my dad actually sells insurance for the Knights of Columbus.
Yeah.
And then, you said my mom works at our church and she's been doing that since I was 3 years old.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, we're always super involved. Any volunteering, any Catholic Daughters events or Knights of Columbus events, we're always there helping out, altar serving, all the things. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I saw it as something we just did. It wasn't ever oh yeah, I love the faith, this is great. It's just what we did. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would say that I knew the church, but I didn't really know Jesus.
Yeah.
I didn't know him as a person.
Yeah.
Or somebody that loved me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty common for cradle Catholics as we grow up. We
Yes.
kind of miss that somewhere along the way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Were there some Catholic events that most shaped your faith as you were growing up?
Yeah. I attended D camp 5 or 6 times.
Oh, wow.
As much as I could. And yeah, one time when I think I was going into 8th grade, so my second D camp, I got prayed over, which was really powerful.
Yeah.
The first time ever getting prayed over. And I had an experience where, as I was getting prayed over, one of the people, they were praying about Jesus walking with me. Mm-hmm. And as I was sitting there, not moving, I just felt like I was walking, so clearly. I could have sworn I was walking. I looked down and I was like, well, I'm not even walking. Yeah. So that was I wrote it down and I was like, that's really weird, but whatever.
Yeah.
And so that was my first experience. And then my last D camp that I went to, and I was going to be a senior in high school, I was part of a small group called Donald's Daughters, mm-hmm. and we named ourselves after our beloved Bishop DeGrood.
Yes.
And yeah, we have to create a skit to introduce your name.
Has he seen this?
Yeah,
okay.
He was there. He was there.
Okay,
he witnessed it firsthand. And we took his picture off the wall, which you're not allowed to do anymore. But we took his picture off the wall and we carried it around with us until they made us put it back. And we chanted Donald, Donald so many times. And he came after we did our skit in front of everyone. He came over to us and he prayed over us and he gave us a blessing and was mm-hmm. He was just very touched. And we've talked about it now later, and he's it really moved my heart. Yeah. That you guys loved me so much.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was one experience. yeah, he was just our dad.
Yeah. He does have a very kind of fatherly presence. I don't know if he realizes that, but he does.
Yeah, yeah. And then, yeah, we won the small group competition, which was like part of his blessing that he gave us. And then, yeah, we were like a really close small group. Like, I'm still friends with some of the girls that were in it today.
Oh, that's nice. So. That's nice. Sounds like you've had lots of opportunity for community as you grew up in the Catholic Church and everything. So, well, how did God work in your decision to go to University of Mary? Because there are several people around our diocese that go up there, but you could have done math in lots of places.
Yeah.
So
yes, I at that DCamp actually, our counselor was like, if you guys don't know where to go to school, like come look at the University of Mary. And so I like kept it in the back of my mind, but I had planned to go somewhere else. I was like visiting all these places in state, and I wanted this like big scholarship, and I ended up not getting it. And I was like, oh I like don't even like that place. I don't even want to go there. Like, what am I doing?
Like just the scholarship was attracting you there.
Yeah,
That's it.
yeah. And so I was like, okay, like I'll go visit. So like the very end of February, my senior year, so like kind of late. Like people usually have their decision made. I like went and visited. Like still like had no decision to make. I went and visited. And like the night before, my mom and I were talking, and she was like, okay, like, do you like it? Like, how are you feeling? I'm like, I don't want to like it. I don't want to go here. I don't want to do it. It's too far away.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so then the next day I went on my official visit. And they have these like posters everywhere, like in the dorm rooms, in the residence halls, with like saint quotes and like saint pictures. And so I like get into the chapel there. And I'm like, okay, Lord, like, if you want me to go here, I have no idea why I made this prayer, but I did. And I said, if you want me to go here, like, if you put my confirmation saint anywhere on campus, St. Catherine of Alexandria, anywhere on here.
Not a super common one.
No, not common at all. Like, I'll take it as a sign to come here. And so, like, we go through the whole day, like, nothing. Don't see her anywhere. I'm like, perfect. This is great. I don't have to go here. Yes. And so the very end, they're like, okay, like, we're kind of like, you don't have anything else like on your schedule. Like you can go to mass, you can go to the bookstore, you can walk around, like you can leave. And I was like, okay, like let's go to the bookstore. We go in there and they have like this whole rack of tiny saints. And my mom was like, oh my gosh, like I was going to get you one for your confirmation, but they don't make your saint. Like they don't make her yet. And so I like walk over to it and it was like the first one I saw. And I was like, you mean this one? She's like, yeah, give it here. I'll buy it for you. Like no thought in her mind. She was like, just give it here. Like we're going to get it for you. And I was like, oh gosh, like I'm going to go to the University of Mary. Wow.
I said it. Now I have to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, okay, here we go.
Yeah. Were you at peace with that in that moment, or did it take a while?
It definitely took a couple weeks of like, wow, that is like where I'm going. Yeah, there was like a conversation and I was just like, please someone tell me where to go. And my confirmation sponsor was like, Marie, like, you know where you're going to go. Like, you just have to commit to it. And I was like, oh yeah, you're right. Like, I just have to say it. So that was also part of it.
Yeah. And how has it been up there so far?
Like, it's been, really incredible.
Yeah. I have to imagine it's nice to go to college in a place where your faith is like, you can express that in any way you wish. Well, in all the good ways because we're Catholic, but you have no worries about having to hide it or anything there. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say there's some challenges. Like we definitely live in a bubble, like that's for sure. Like we definitely live in a bubble. And you have to like invest your time in the community there. Like, there's a lot of opportunities for it. And so like, you just have to choose to do it and you have to choose to be open to it. Yeah. But yeah, luckily it's been really, really good.
It's almost like, to me, it would be like going to college at a big Newman Center. Yeah. Instead of going to college and then there's the Newman Center. So it's like a big Newman Center.
Yes. Yeah. And like everybody knows the Focus Missionaries. Like we have a lot of them. And yeah, it's like we don't have a Newman Center. We just have school. Like,
It's because who would need that?
Yeah.
There. Yeah. Awesome. Okay. If you just joined us, we're talking to Marie Weller about her faith journey and how we're going to talk in a little bit about how she has kept her faith as a young adult. So I know you had told me you had a profound experience at a DCamp as a counselor. So first of all, how did you become a counselor? When did this happen? And then tell us about that experience, if you would.
Yeah. So February of my freshman year in college, I got a call from Hector that was like, hey, like, you want to be a Lim and Christie missionary? Do you want to be a DampMamp counselor? And I was like, oh, like, I can't be a missionary. But yeah, I can be a counselor. Like, I would love that.
Yeah.
And so that was really how it happened. Like, applied and
Hector knows who to call.
yes, Hector. Hector. And so that's how I got into it. Yeah, going there, I was like very nervous.
Yeah.
I was really.
What do counselors do at DampMamp?
Lead small groups, do skits. Some people give talks. Luckily, I didn't have to. And yeah, we're just kind of there leading all the kids.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, when I got there, I was still like very nervous. Luckily, like actually four of us from Donald's Daughters were counselors at the same DampMamp,
wow.
which is like half of the small group that we were in.
Yeah.
We're all there, and so that was like really special and just like really dear to my heart.
Yeah.
And yeah, that night I went to confession with Father Kapperman for the first time. I met him that day, and it was really powerful. It definitely like was not just Father Kapperman sitting there.
Right.
It was definitely the Lord.
Certain priests, that's very much more evident. I don't know why that maybe it's actually not about the priest. It's about you at the moment. I don't know, but
yeah,
I've noticed that.
Yeah. And yeah, of course I was crying. And I just more like, like in confession, I just more like looking up, and like his gaze, like him, looking back at me, was something that I had never experienced before.
Yeah.
It was like a look of pure love. And I'd never seen that before in a priest, in confession, of course.
That's awesome.
So that was like the first thing. And then I just, had like a lot of things just like were stirring in my heart, just conversations and the kids and all these things. And I was telling my co-small group leader, and she was like, maybe you should just like go talk to Father Kapperman. And I was like, like, no, like I can't do it. And she was like, okay, like that's fine. And so the next day, and it like things were still happening. And so she was like, I got to free time. She's like, do you have a job right now? Like, what are you doing? And I was like, oh, I don't have anything. She's like, you need to go talk to Father Kapperman. And I was like, look, I really can't. Like, I can't get up and go talk to him. And she was like, oh, I'll get him for you. And I was like, okay. And so she went and got him, and he came out, and he was like, okay, like, do you want to just go for a walk? And I was like, sure. And so we like go for a walk, and I like pour my heart out, and I'd like everything that was stirring, everything that was going on, I just laid it all out. And he just like received me really well, and loved me really well, and just like had some good things to say. And then towards the end, he's talking about courage, and I was like, that's kind of crazy, thinking that like I didn't even come get you. Like, it's wild that you think I have courage.
He knew you needed it in the moment somehow.
And then he talked about my confirmation. And I shut down. Like my entire body language changed. We were like walking in, he was on the right side of me, and like I like looked left, I like looked at the ground, like everything just like changed. And I was like, this is like really weird. Because I had been very open like during the conversation, and then like he said that word, and it just everything changed. And so he noticed right away, and he was like, Marie, like, what's going on? And I said, listen, like, I've never told anybody this before, but I wasn't in a state of grace for my confirmation, and so I don't think it worked. And I like started tearing up a little bit, and he was like, are you ashamed of that? And I just nodded my head, like, yeah, like I'd never put those together, but that was pure shame. And he was like, what do you think the Lord is saying to you right now? And so like in prayer, I turned to the Lord, and I perceived him say, it's going to be okay. I love you no matter what. And so I said that out loud, and Father Kapperman was like, yeah, like he loves you, and it's going to be okay. And this is the best thing about theology, because I get to tell you that confirmation is one of the only sacraments that you can receive without being in a state of grace.
You've been worried all the time about that.
He went on to explain like the graces from your confirmation just come at a time when like your soul is ready to receive them. And you like are in a state of grace. And he like is explaining it really well. And as he's explaining it, like just this feeling of like a huge bucket of water like washing over me, like so clearly. I can like feel it run out of my feet, like into the ground.
Wow.
And like he knew something was happening, of course, and so I think all I said was like, wow. and just like in awe of what the Lord was doing.
Mm-hmm.
And so he said, what do you think the Lord is saying to you now? So I turned back to the Lord, and I perceived him say, come, be joyful with me.
Oh, wow.
And so, yeah, the rest of my time at DCamp was like so incredible. And just, yeah, so many graces. That took like weeks in prayer to like go over. And like,
I'm sure.
it was so beautiful. Yeah. And that was like those two like moments, like, confession, and then, yeah, that experience like changed my life.
That is I'm really glad you shared all, you know, not a lot of people will share that kind of stuff with lots of other people. That's a really deep experience that you had. And I'm really glad that you shared it, because that will really help a lot of people, I think. Because you're probably not the only person who has gone into confirmation, maybe not in the best state of mind, the best state of soul, whatever it is. But you come out with the Holy Spirit.
Yeah.
So that's been working on you for a long time, I bet.
Yeah.
And then you're like, I can let it go.
Yeah. Yeah. The Lord is very, very gracious in that moment.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, he definitely like waited for a good time too.
Yeah.
So
he waited for the right person for you to talk to about that.
yes.
And share it with, that could help you understand all of the now good things, and that you can let go of everything. So Father Kapperman's great with that stuff, isn't
Yeah.
he?
Yeah. He's the
Awesome.
best.
Awesome. Okay. That was awesome. Okay. So you spent a semester in Rome.
Yes.
Was that just this past semester?
It was this past fall. So
Fall.
like had that experience in July, and then went to Rome in September.
Oh gosh. Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So now you're taking that experience to Rome with you, I'm sure.
Yes, of course.
Okay. So tell us about your time there, and maybe like your favorite place you visited, anything like that. Whatever you got. We all will live vicariously through you.
Yeah. It was so incredible. So the University of Mary sends like 35 students every semester to study over there. And so, yeah, I went in the fall. And the first thing that really like, just like really enhanced my faith was seeing the Universal Church, and like meeting the Pope, and, yeah, like seeing him, and it like became casual to just like go to St. Peter's on Sunday. Like,
I'm going to St. Peter's.
yeah, we go to mass, in English, and then we like go to St. Peter's Square, and we'd go visit the Vatican, like it was nothing,
right?
Which was so incredible. And like the people you see, and like the people you run into is also like pretty crazy. Like we just like saw people that we knew. We're like, wow, okay, welcome to Rome.
It's smaller than we think.
Yeah. Yeah, and you get to travel. So that was another thing. Like all the places that I went to. Yeah, went all around Italy. Yeah, was in Salerno, where St. Matthew was buried on his feast day in September.
Oh, nice.
Like, yeah, so incredible. Went to Budapest, went to Vienna, went to Greece. Yeah, so many incredible places. And in Assisi, like there was a moment where I was like, you know what, like I'm really not a place person. Like I'm such a people person. Like this wouldn't be anything like if I didn't have the people with me.
Right.
Yeah, your community becomes like a family. And yeah, I have like 34 really close friends now.
Yeah. Just 34.
Yeah. Casually.
Right.
And so, yeah, that was like one of the biggest things was the people with me.
Yeah.
And yeah, we have chaplains, and they are also like the most incredible people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Such a gift.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. We have about 3 or 4 minutes. So I think we can do this part.
Okay.
Because you really have had some really good experiences, and you clearly have a vibrant faith. So how have you cultivated that and kept it in this kind of culture? And if you can, like any one like tip for other young people to be able to do the same thing?
Yeah. I'm going to go back to Genesis for a second and
okay.
say it is not good for man to be alone.
Yeah.
You need people around you. I wouldn't be here without the people who have raised me and been with me and walked with me. And so that's like the first thing is like finding a good community, and praying for one, and like letting the Lord give you one. It's like the first very important thing. And at the University of Mary, like I'm so lucky to have so many people in a good community, and like so many good friends from that. And the second thing, of course, is prayer. Like you have to go to the Lord with everything. And like letting the Lord reveal himself to you in a personal way is also like so important.
It sounds like your prayer is really a part of your, like it infuses everything in your life. Am I right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So every time something happens, you're like, oh, I need to pray about that.
Yeah, and even in the moment, like relating it to the
Yeah.
Lord is so important, and letting him like be present in every part of your life too.
Yeah. I think we always think about, I don't have time to pray. Well, you're actually, when you're doing that, you're praying all day.
Yeah.
All the time.
St. Paul says too, you know.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
In everything you do, just turn to God, and that's your prayer.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
So any tips for young women, young men?
Yeah. I would say like, let your identity as a beloved daughter or a beloved son be the root of you. And that relationship is the most important one. So that's the first thing. And don't be afraid to like let the Lord look at you. And look at you in your brokenness and your weaknesses and in your accomplishments and in your sins. Like he
sees you anyway.
Yeah. And like meeting his gaze is really important. And can really help. Don't be afraid to let him love you.
That is really good advice. Don't be afraid to let him love you. Did y'all hear that? Marie says, don't be afraid to let him love you.
Yeah.
Marie, we are out of time. I really appreciate you coming in. Your mom was right. You were a great guest, great story. I hope you'll just kind of be out there with everybody. I love that you emphasize community. Our July Bishop's Bulletin is all about community. You didn't even know that. It fits right in, and I'm just really glad you were able to come in and tell your story. I appreciate it. Thanks for being here.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Yeah, you bet.
Yeah.
All right, if you haven't found us yet on social media, you can find us at Facebook, Instagram, X, and YouTube at SF Diocese anytime. That's it for us today. Hope you'll join us again next week for more Catholic Views.